the money, honey. Get the money, honey. Hey, 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 hey. Round of applause, round of applause. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I got somebody with me today, and it is Miss Sheba, Miss Creative as fuck, and
Hey,
also the CEO of Muse. She is a publicist. She is a media brand manager extraordinaire. She just won an award in Houston, Texas, as being one of the leading, and she won out of like some people that have been in the industry for 10 plus years. And she is not only someone that's doing a collaboration, but she's also my friend. So I want to introduce Miss Sheba. Miss Sheba, you can talk about yourself, and I'm going to tell you guys why she is here and what we're doing. We are going to be doing a collaboration January the 13th, and it's for entrepreneurs who are on the verge, on the precipice of making a huge change in their business and doing it with vision boards. And we are solely focusing on vision boards for entrepreneurship. So it's a vision board business intensive. I will be in Houston. Is going to be a workshop, and Miss Sheba's going to be also there in a workshop. So I'm going to hand it over a little to Sheba so you get to know her a little bit better, and we're going to talk about manifestation, what is a vision board, and we just going to go with the flow. So Sheba.
hello, everybody. I am Sheba. I am the CEO of CreativeAF Muse Marketing and Management. I am in the office right now, and someone just walked down the hall with a dolly, so excuse me. I am living the dream, okay? And it took some time, but the most impactful thing I ever did was put my vision on a vision board. And that's really why I'm so excited about this collaboration, because I really love to teach this to people, because I feel like, we hear about vision boards and we hear about manifestation, but what are the concepts that you can use in your everyday life to really bring these things into fruition? And that's what we're going to be talking about. So I'm really looking forward to it. And I just appreciate Christina for having me on. I watched the show, get the money, honey, get the money, honey. And I'm excited to be here. So yeah, I've been doing this for quite some time. I started in 2019, and I'll just give you guys a little bit of my backstory. I was working at a local hospital, one of the most prestigious hospitals in Houston. I was working in the main operating room as a senior procurement professional. So I did capital purchasing. I spent billions of dollars at MD Anderson. And I worked there for a long time. And it just got to the point where I felt like I was not being fulfilled in my life. So I just knew, and I'd already started podcasting at that time. So I just wanted to be a free entrepreneur. And I started this journey, and here I am today, creating my own employment.
Awesome. I started doing vision boards about with my godmother, Reverend Dr. Sini Reed, who is not an ancestor, and I had asked her one day, how is it that she gets all the things that she wants? It was just like she was like, you know what, Chris, I'm gonna buy me a new car. And I'm like, okay, you just bought a car like 3 months ago. Yeah, but I want to get a new Lincoln. I said, okay. I'm like, and I'm thinking in my mind, how are you able to obtain this and you don't have a job? That's the way. But not to say that she didn't. What I meant a job is what we would consider somebody going to work every single day. And we would literally go to, I remember driving with her, going to the car lot and the Lincoln that she just bought 3 or 4 months ago. And she seen the new Lincoln that came out, and She was like, yeah, I'm gonna come back and get it. And then the next few days later, she has this new car,
Mhm.
this new vehicle. And I said, how is it that you're able to manifest, like get all of this stuff, like anything that she said that she wanted to do or that she was going to do, it was like bam. And I'm like, how do you do that? And so she taught me how to create a vision board, and never so much for, and it was at that time, even though I was in, have been in business for a long time. So you're talking about 2010, I've been in business for like 30 years. And so even with me starting my YouTube channel, Business Talk with Christina Kingmaker, I literally had to put that on a vision board and how to get that manifesting. And she taught me all the different techniques when it comes to color, spacing, all the different ways to get it. And at first I was really skeptical. I was really, really skeptical until, when I did my first one, and one of the things I wanted to do was relocate.
Mm.
And she said, where do you want to relocate? What's the region? And I wanted to go down south. So here I am from New York, and now I want to go down south. And I wasn't quite clear where down south I wanted to go, but I knew down south was where I wanted to go. And believe it or not, within that year, for my year, that plan for my life that I did on that vision board, I did end up down south. And a lot of different things that I wanted to manifest in regard to my business, it manifested on that vision board. So this is
Right.
one of the things I wanted to ask. What is, because a lot of people think, when they think of a vision board, they think of just pictures or words being placed on a piece of paper. So
Mm.
when someone say a vision board to you, what is that? What is it actually?
It is, and this is just my intuitive response, but it is a visual representation of your desires. And that's how I see it. Like, because you can also make digital boards. So, like, let's say you just jump into Canva and you find whatever you want to put, you can create a digital board, but it is a visual representation of your desires. And for me, the most important part of it is that when I have it up, like I would just put mine in my bedroom where I spend most of my time, where I know I'm going to see it all the time. It's just a constant reminder of what you're working towards or why you're doing it. So in having it in this tangible state, it's not just, man, I would really like to move down south. It's in your face every day saying, you're going down south. You're going down south. Because when we're talking about manifestation, we're programming ourselves to believe this thing that we want. So having a visual representation that says you're going here is really important. And when I started, of course, I started putting stuff that I wanted to put around my house, like a new rice cooker or whatever. But when I go back and look at my board, I'm checking off the things that are starting to pop up around my house, and one of the most fun things that I ever manifested through this way was a guitar. And I say that because I just cut out a bunch of instruments and I was like, I want some instruments in my house. And my mom had brought me a keyboard. Keyboard was on there. And so I had this one guitar that I found in this catalog. And one day I was just like, I'm going to get myself a guitar, because I had taken 2 guitars to the pawn shop as a teenager and I never finished my guitar lessons. So I was like, I'm going to buy a guitar. Well, I go in and I just pick one, but it was exactly the one that I had put on the board. And that was what was so important, because I had really forgotten what it looked like, because it wasn't a huge picture. But after I had gotten the guitar, I went up to make my check mark and I was like, it's exactly the same one. I mean, like down to the colored strings and the brand, everything. So it is that conditioning that is happening through the visualization and the pictures that is helping you to manifest these things in your real life.
So it's something that you said, it was really interesting to me when you said that And it's funny that you said it, and I was told to do it, but I didn't do it. Okay.
Mm,
So my godmother, she said to me, when something happens, take it off the board so that she said, almost as if the energy is moving around on on your board,
mhm,
or however you want to, if you're using a construction paper, using plywood, whatever you're using for your board. She said take it off, and I never did. Let me tell you why. Because I am a person, I love beautiful things, right?
mhm.
So I'm, being in the industry of event planning and designing, everything I love is all about beauty, 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 beauty. And I felt like it was going to damage
Mm,
vision board because I did not want it to look ugly, right?
yeah.
So what people need to understand too, manifesting anything can become ugly.
Mhm. Primarily ugly, in my opinion. It's, I mean, and that's, I think that was like one of the most extreme misconceptions I had when I started trying to change my life through the law of attraction or manifestation, was I really thought that it was just going to start plopping in and everything was just going to be beautiful and magical. And I was really miserable at first because it wasn't happening like that. Like, of course, I would see things that I just spoken or felt or sensed, and I was like, wow, it really does work. But when we're talking about making major life changes, that's like tectonic plates. There's going to be an earthquake, and you're going to lose something or have to make some kind of sacrifice in order to create a space for the new. So, like, I always say this, but it's like I had a serious drinking problem. Serious. Like, I was living my life with a bottle. It was my crutch. And I realized one day that I could not be this person sitting in the office and still also be the drunk. So, like, I had to abandon the life that I had in order to receive the life that I wanted. So a lot of people are really married to their present moment and their past, but they don't realize that latching on, holding on, and keeping it the way it is what's keeping you from having what it is that you say you want. So when it comes to your vision board, if you say you want a new rice cooker, you got to throw the old one in the trash.
That's good. That's really, really good. I remember our conversation, sometimes I try not to talk about my personal life because I do have personal conversations, you guys, with people, and I call them transformative conversations. That I feel that if you're in your group, you should be having conversations. The people in your group should be able to transform your life for the better. Okay.
Mhm.
And I remember you and I having a conversation when we first met, um last year, early in the year. I don't even remember when we met, but I know it's been in that year frame. And you said something to me. You're still trying and I was offended. You
So
still
I'm sorry.
that's okay. It's good to be offended sometimes because it provokes your thought processes to really for you to really sit down and ask the question, what do that person mean? And for you to take an evaluation. But the thing that you said to me is you're still trying to be the same person that you were years ago, because we do try to hold on a persona, especially when that persona where you felt that you were really successful and you were the talk of the town and you were the it person, and everybody knew your name, like in the freaking Cheers commercial. And then life happens with all of us. Life happens in your business, life happens in your intimate life happens in your financial life. In every area there is going to be change.
Mhm.
And I kind of felt a little, and I was like, well, this is who I am. I've always been this person. What is she talking about? And there were the glimmer, because I had to redefine who I was. I had to get to know me. And I'm still in the process of getting to know me, because I have to say, in my former life, this is where I was. And so going into when you're having a business, even whether it's been successful or it's been, scraping along, you're trying to get to where you need to go. You need to let go of what it was if you want to get it to be bigger. And sometimes letting go, it can be intimidating. It can be intimidating because you built a system, a system. When I mean system of thought processes, you built a system on how you do certain things. And that way, when you're trying to matriculate into another paradigm, you have to know how to develop a whole new system so that you can manifest what it is that you want to manifest in the direction that you want to go. Because what's going to happen is almost like I look at it as the hamster on the hamster wheel. You're not going anywhere, you're just spinning.
Yeah. And I mean, I think that was a turning point for me when I realized, okay, well, what's happening here is I have to reinvent myself, recreate myself, because the self that I am right now doesn't live the life that I'm designing. That person would never know how to operate a business. That person would never know how to be, supply chain also, and sales, and all these things that, you have to be in entrepreneurial space. Like, you're kind of responsible for all the things, at least at one point or another. And I had only worked in a corporate environment, so I didn't know how to be a boss of myself or anybody else. And so, again, I also had this crutch of alcohol. I loved it. It was like my best friend. If after work, I was like, well, me and whiskey got an appointment, so I can't talk to you right now. I'm busy. And I remember the very day I was trying to record a YouTube video where I was teaching somebody about something. This is when I first started. I want to teach all these things I have been learning. And I started crying because my kids were making noise. And I wanted them to be quiet so that I could be perfect on camera, which is unrealistic. But I sat there and I was like, this is never going to work. I can't fake this. I have to really do this thing. So I can't remember what it was. Maybe it was one of the books I'd read. I read a lot of books. And the book was called The Energy of Money. And there was an assignment in the book where you reinvent yourself, because I was having a difficult time establishing new core values, because I don't think I had any actual core values at that time, because I was doing life coaching. So I had gotten my certificate or whatever. And I was like, damn, what are my core values? What are my core values? I don't even know. And so in this book, because of course, every time I needed something, I would just, ask or write it down or say, I need this, bring it to me. And so I found this book, and in the book, of course, it was like exactly what I was looking for. So it was this exercise that helps you basically redefine yourself through using people you admire. So, they ask you to make this list and write down why you admire these people. And I took a lot of my students through this too, because it's a very easy way for you to say, okay, boom, this is who I want to be. So you choose all these people you admire and why, and then you look for the repeating words or attributes. And then comes the gotcha, which is you are all of these things already. You're just not tapping into it. So now it's time for you to reprogram yourself to believe what is true and not what the lie was, which is what you always thought about yourself. So it was so profound because, like I said, you do have to become somebody new in order to live the life that you are recreating. Like, there's no way that you're going to hold what it is that you say you want, that is coming probably in 5 years, as you are today, because you have so much growing to do. And that's okay. I think that's one thing that we need to realize when we're saying we want to manifest or create a new life. It's going to take time. Like, it's going to take time, and it should. You don't want to launch into something that you're not ready for, because you won't be able to keep it. You want it to be sustainable. So like the journey and the long time that it takes for you to grow into who you need to be, appreciate that. It does hurt and it is ugly, but appreciate that evolution. I mean, when we look at the butterfly, there's no way that going into that chrysalis and turning into mush and dying to be reborn into the butterfly feels good. So why do you then expect it to feel good when you're going through that? You know?
That's amazing. It's something that you said, and I always, when I'm sitting here thinking about manifesting, I talk about and I think about the capacity, right? So when I'm speaking, I'm doing my consulting with my business clients. The first thing I go is like, do you have the capacity to hold what it is that you're asking for? Are you ready? Okay. My family and us, we have round tables when we're gathering together. And I was speaking with my dad because, we're on the Cedar Reese project, and my dad is starting his TRD research and development company where he's mixing all cosmetics and stuff like that because he's a chemist and that's his area of expertise. And one of the things we were talking about is having the capacity, because I said what I feel, what I sense would be what, because I'm manifesting, I'm pulling this energy in, that I need everybody to be on the same vibrational energy, that when we go out into the world, when we're ready to do this, that we're all on the same page, that we're able to hold, be able to receive it and hold the capacity of the weight that's coming in our way. And sometimes people say, yes, I'm ready to have, a $5 million business or $5 million income, but do you have the capacity to hold it? So there's the responsibility, the accountability, you know, are you able to receive it? And when you receive it, how are you going to transmute that into the betterment or for your highest good, right? So are we ready? Because I feel that when we're putting stuff together in order to manifest, and people go, oh, I have a desire to it, but you're not in the proper position mentally, spiritually, emotionally, which is really the real strongest foundation. Because money comes. Money is
Mm-hmm.
it's an energetic flow. And you can have as much money in your hand as you want, and then you're not holding on to it. It's leaking out. And where's the leakage for that? Is because you don't have the capacity to hold it. So when you talk about when you say that, being ready, having that right mindset, that right, you have to be able to receive it, because you had to change how you wanted your life to be. Like, listen, I got to get rid of this because this is how I see my life, and this is not comparable or even compatible to where I want to go.
I'm sorry, I'm still recovering.
That's okay. So
Yeah.
go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say you're right, of course. So do you know that food blogger, Keith Lee? He has like 15 million followers or whatever on
Yeah.
TikTok. We came to Houston last couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
And this lady was like tagging him and she was like, send him over here. I'm struggling. I need customers. Baby, the customers went because he went up there. Do you know that lady had to close her shop and go to the hospital because she was having heart palpitations? And it's not funny. And I hope that she's able to level out. But that is what we're talking about. So when it comes to you, I mean, it is going to be overwhelming because you're going to be like, oh, wow, it's finally here. What am I doing? What do I do?
Right.
You've got to be able to then say, I'm malleable enough to accommodate,
Yeah, I'm malleable. Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Because
Will
you
it
really
take
won't know
me?
until it's there, like
Yes.
you
Yeah.
can say, I'm ready to receive it. But then if you start to get rained on, okay, boom, do I know where to find an umbrella real quick? If I need one, versus I'm going back inside, I don't want to deal with this. So that's kind of it's like that. It all really comes down to mindset. Like it all boils down to the mindset,
Yeah, it's almost like Keith Lee was like the genie, your wishes might come.
Mhm. Mhm.
And I've actually heard that her dessert shop actually,
The
she
pottery.
did the pudding, yeah, and, people were around the corner waiting for 4 hours
Mhm.
for that. So, I want to, for us to we got, like, 10 minutes before we gonna have to go. But what are some of the things? Let's do some key points, and
Okay.
what are we going and when it comes to manifesting that some key points that we could give the people who's watching this.
Okay. Be delusional, but also be realistic. So when I say that, I mean believe in what it is that you say you want to manifest. Like I was in my office and I said, I am an entrepreneur. I work for myself and I have clients and I serve them. But again, it took me like 5 years to grow into the person that does that. So when I say be realistic, that's clean up your life, make it match the desire, and take actions every day that support your vision board or what you've written down.
Okay. So, and I would like to add not only you know, be delusional. When I mean what she meant by that is like have the imagination of a child.
Mm-hmm.
And in the purest form, and make sure that when you're putting your stuff out there to manifest it, you're not in competition with anyone else. You should have an innate some quiet time um position. So when I say innate, it's something that drops within your spirit, something that you know that this
Mm-hmm.
is what you're called to do, and because you feel it and you cannot get rid of it, and it's something that will continuously to come to you. So yes, when she's talking about have a childlike belief, don't waver, work on it, be consistent, have the discipline. So people would the operative word back in the day was consistency, and that's not consistency is not it. You have to be disciplined. Discipline
Mm-hmm.
equals consistency, okay? And then consistency equals results. All right. So make sure that you do that. And then another thing too is that wait on it, continue to work while you're doing being consistent toward the manifest. Also be patient and wait on it. Don't doubt it. Don't cancel out what you're going to do because you don't see it right away. And it's something that Sheba has said was that, it took 5 years for her. I didn't instantly just go and overseas and stuff like that. It took years before I started going overseas for doing business. So those are the takeaways that I would like to say to our audience. And then also too, to wrap it up about the intensive that we're doing in
Mm-hmm.
January the 13th, the Entrepreneurial Elevation Business Board intensive that we're going to do it in Houston, Texas, and it's going to be at the Acres Home Business Center, right?
The Acres Home Chamber for
Okay,
Business.
okay,
Mm-hmm.
Acres Home Chamber for Business. We're going to be there. All of the supplies are going to be given to you. We're going to give you lunch. You're going to have snacks and refreshments. And we really want you to come and be a part. This is going to be something that you have never experienced before. I'm just letting you know. So get ready. This is not one of the people say, oh, we've heard this before. No, really. Something that you just really do not want to miss. We're going to really
Mm-hmm.
teach you how to do the thing.
Yes. I mean, real life, real time. Like we're going to teach you how to do it. And we're going to impress upon you the need for you to change your mindset in order for you to be able to get it. Because that's what I really want people to realize is that it is your mind that controls your outer reality.
So Sheba, how can people get in contact with you for any type of services um that they may need from you? How would they get in contact with you?
Okay. So if you're looking for somebody to help you with your brand, marketing, do publicity, PR work, go ahead and just follow me on Instagram. That's really what I'm focusing on right now is having people follow me on Instagram at Muse, MUZE, brand MGMT. And I will even tell you guys why that is, because I could easily direct you to my website. But I want people to see me working. I want people to see me outside talking to clients, interviewing people, popping up, going to events, and doing the things that I am doing. I want you to see that. So go ahead and, like I said, follow me on Instagram, MUZE brand MGMT. And I'm really looking forward to seeing everybody at the Vision Board Intensive in January. It's going to be a time.
It is. It's going to be amazing. And if you need a consultant for your business, if you're trying to start up a new company, a new venture, either nonprofit or for-profit, you can email me at info@ChristinaLTurner.com or www.ChristinaLTurner.com. Go to my website, put an inquiry in. I will get back to you. I am not on social media as much because I am literally busy. I wish I had the time to be on it, but that's just not my thing. And then also you can follow me on, I wouldn't tell you to follow me on Instagram because I'm not on there often. So the best thing for you to do to get to me is to make an appointment. I'm like a doctor. Make an appointment with me so that we can make sure that you do create a healthy business. So everyone, this is all that we have for you today. Tune in next time. This is going to be a series that I'm going to be doing as far as manifestation and business board. Sheba, thank you so much for your time, for coming out, hanging out with me for these few minutes, and that I will see you in Houston in a few weeks, and then I'll talk to you in a little bit.
Okay.
And that's it, everybody. I wish that you would prosper and be in good health, even as your soul prosper. God bless.